All right, FightHype.com. Sean Zattel here with one of the great fighters in boxing history who promoted a great event and a hell of a fight last night between Gervonta Tank Davis and his fighter, Ryan Garcia. Bernard, Gervonta winds up winning with a seventh round knockout to the body. What did you think of the fight last night, Bernard?
First of all, it was a great promotion. Also, a great fight as we witnessed. And the fans, and I believe when the numbers are shown from pay-per-view, it will reflect everything I just said, from fans to the promoters and everybody else that had anything to do with getting the word out that this is a super fight, a special fight, and a fight with the winner will be the face of boxing. Now that I said that, it was what it's been said weeks, months leading up to yesterday, last night. I'm not, I didn't see anything disappointing in it other than not getting the win, but that's the gamble and the chance you take as a professional prize fighter and promotion. You take your shot. We took our shot. What's next? You go through, I'm only speaking for my experience, a mourning type of feeling of what happened. But you must snap out of that as soon, ASAP. Fighter and the business of fighters, not just in our business in a whole when it comes to the business of boxing. It was some exciting action. Had to endure early on, which normally takes rounds or some spots in a 12-round fight where you can see the momentum picking up. This fight had a little different twist, but not an unusual twist. Why did I say that? Some sparks of Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. It just lasted a little longer, and it lasted 7 rounds. To me, a action-packed 7 rounds with some skill, some heart, some awareness, more on Tank's side, patiently still perfecting what he do, pressure, mental, physical. He did all that, yes, last night perfect. And listen, sometime in life you gotta eat crow, but sometimes in life you gotta understand to even be right or wrong, you must take a chance, take a shot, but a sincere shot. Man, Ryan Garcia done that. Am I proud of him? Absolutely. Are we proud of him at Golden Boy? Absolutely. Is the fans? You can ask them. I'm pretty sure they're going to say what I just said. They're proud of him. Now, saying that, let's see out there in the boxing world that we can repeat those type of matches in every weight class if possible. Maybe I'm asking for too much. but the weight class that matters to a point where we know. You're going to start from lightweight to heavyweight. I don't know. No disrespect to the flyweights, bantamweights, or super mini weights. I don't know. I'm keeping it as real as I can on a Sunday morning.
After a long, crazy fight week.
After a long, crazy fight week, where I must say, thanks for your offer of waiting a few days to get my bearings and soak it all in. But if you would have somehow, we would have crossed each other or said, you have a chance, Bernard, to get a word, I would have gave you that word. Because it's better while the hot iron is hot than when the iron cools off. So if it was a victory, we've been in a different situation right now, you still have this interview. It is what it is. And that's the respect that I know that the world of fans, the true fans, you're going to answer the call when the call is called.
And you know, we always appreciate that, Bernard. And for the fight, what did you like that Ryan did in the fight? What did you think, okay, you shouldn't have done that? And then same for Gervonta Davis. What did you like about what Gervonta did in the fight?
First, pressure when he needed it, when he tasted the power and he wasn't fully 100% engaging to fight back based out of panic. He grabbed, he held. For some reason, and I mentioned that, especially young fighters in his generation, for some reason they think grabbing is not part of the boxing IQ of a great boxer or a fighter that understands that that is part of a survival mechanism, just in case you never think of it, but your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Just in case. Well, we've seen Davis pull a veteran move in a young career. I say that again. You've seen him do or pull into effect a legendary move. All the greats was in position where they had to grab and say, oh, wait a minute, I need a second. And then regroup. It's part of the game. He used it, took advantage of it, and got in position where now he can do what? He can handle his business. That's one thing that led into a bigger problem for Ryan Garcia. He got the momentum and he's seen the anxiousness, the rush of thinking, the rush of reacting, rushing in all these categories. A fighter with that IQ can see that. And of course, I noticed it last night more than I've seen it in any other fights, even though he's undefeated. But last night he was on point, and because that happens, anybody get hit, anybody can throw a punch at the same time and one affect the other. But I've never seen him in this situation where not only did he figure it out, he changed the way his approach was to Ryan every round based on his reaction to when Ryan felt like he was trying to gain power back, which means dominance, where he was on the giving side, not the receiving. I knew that Ryan was going to have a problem when Davis made those adjustments every time he needed it without trying to figure it out. Whether it was in between rounds or in the middle of the action, he weathered the storm without being over hyped in his punches, anxious in his approach. You put those two things together, they work against you more for you. You're going to run into something because you don't know how to run across the street in a four-way traffic street other than you think it's the time the third car gets you or the fourth car gets you because you got past the two lanes already, but the other one you didn't see. And of course, the last one is going to finish you off. That's how I see the difference between this level and the level we seen yesterday, or I witnessed yesterday. And that's not a good outcome for the opponent or the undefeated fighter, which was Ryan Garcia.
Well, like you said, you don't see it. And Ryan didn't see that body shot coming. And on the telecast, they actually compared it to your body shot when you won against Oscar De La Hoya. What did you think of the body shot, Bernard?
I'm glad you asked that question. It was a body shot not coming from a distance. It was a body shot if you didn't pay attention or you were sitting from the backside of Ryan Garcia, then the people that's on the audience would have seen the connection before the replay. Where I was sitting in Golden Boy was on Gervonta Davis' side, on Tank's side. But I did see it left from, of course, the southpaw, but it wasn't from coming here. It was short, and it was like a karate, like a soccer rocket. It was like up here, like he shoved it, he stabbed it, as Brother Nazim, may Allah be pleased with him, stab him. You ain't close. The referee says, punch and get out. Punch your way out, rather. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Work your way out of the
clinch. Can't assume because you not fully in the, y'all still can engage, y'all still maybe an arm tied up here, but you still fight your way out, right? Tank shoved. He got that left end right underneath. When Ryan did this and stepped back, first he did this first because, bam, he felt it. Now he's trying to see if he can deal with it. So now it's coming from here to your mind and to your whole spirit of, I know I can't go on 1 second or a minute, and this man is coming towards me. The referee's in the middle of us. So you got that adversity. You only got 1/10 of a second, if that. I'm going to take a knee. Smart thinking. Between those things that happened before you took the knee, the referee's at 8 or 9 now. You got to get up at 10, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He heard 9 and he did this. Referee stopped him. Paralyzing shot. Paralyzing. Those punches, as people would say, oh, it wasn't that hard, because they're looking for, it's the didn't look like it was that hard. Okay. But nobody would let you test them to hit them there. You got to look at the man as the face of boxing right now.
Yeah. What do you want to see? Oh, go. Were you still talking about it?
Nah, that is it. Right now, he've earned that. Didn't need my approval. But I believe, and I said then, I say it now. Listen, my days are over. I'm doing the fighting. I'm doing the fighting in the promoting arena. It's a different type of fight. I'm going to give my opinion, not emotionally. I'm going to give my opinion what I believe and who I want to win in any fight. And not being apologetic about anything that I'm wrong with. But understanding that I called that one wrong. I called this one right. So to get your victories, you got to understand your L's. Or he wasn't right about it. That's why one of the reasons you're the first one I'm doing an interview with. Less than 24 hours. Fight time.
And you know, we appreciate it, Champ. We throw that X up every time.